Hello, CherieHanson here. It is the 27th, which means the new moon in Pisces is coming. It is a very, very strong portal to a new life. Many people I know are saying that they're feeling a new energy, that something is shaken up, that the old, the expected, the habitual trudge along the same worn path, it feels like it's over. So now we're in a place where you imagine that you bought a plot of land and you're going to build your residence on that plot of land. The old house is not what you're going to build again. You're going to take everything that you've learned about your past, the things that worked, the things that sabotaged you, the habits that did not serve you, a color you were wearing that just made you look like a dead fish. All of that stuff that you have gathered around you in your nest of security. This is the time to let it go. This is the time to release it. This is the time to not keep trying to rebuild your house on a shore that floods 3 times a year and wipes your house away down the river. This is the time to say to yourself with absolute clarity, if it doesn't work, I don't want it. Now, what do I mean by work? This is the thing that I've been exploring quite a bit lately, and that is, what is it that I want in my life? And for me, it's music, it's a strong body, it's health and learning. I have to learn something every day. It's my fix. I have to be injected with some kind of new information that shifts my brain. It's kind of like mental yoga. I'm stretching the form of what I was to allow it to become something new. I seek nature. I seek flowers. I seek fabulous clothing and earrings. I seek simplicity in my food. I don't want a pile of food with 75 flavors. And I'm there now. I had my sardine toast this morning and it was so delicious. Now, if I were a 40-year-old watching myself do that, I would have gone, ew, what are you eating? Ugh. But now I am shifted into, I would say, greater alignment with who I want to become. Knowing that it's not will, it's not discipline, it's not forcing yourself. That doesn't work. All that does is exhaust you. You're like a tiny pony pulling a gigantic sled with rocks on it. It doesn't do you any good to push yourself into grabbing and struggling and fighting and self-discipline. The path, which I have been so grateful to have discovered because of my great teachers, my great people who have studied human behavior, who have studied how the brain works, how our concept of self works, is gently on the ground. So you do something, you repeat it, you stay in a place of confidence. I'll get this. I'm going to be able to learn this over time. And what I keep coming back to, and it's my go-to place, is what a tech said to me once when he was explaining to me how to use the magic touching and moving of a technological system that I wasn't able to get to work. He said, I want you to think about when you learn to tie your shoes. And I'm just like, he goes, you didn't know how to tie your shoes at first, but that's part of the process. You don't know how to use the technology for this right now, but you did learn to tie your shoes. This is a 30-year-old man helping me to get this wisdom about giving yourself space to change, to shift, to learn, to leave things behind. And so I have come to a place where I am really using atomic habits to make myself become more at ease with who I'm meant to be, to manifest more the things that make me happy. And it's really interesting, my list that some of my life coaches have said is take out a piece of paper and write down all the things that you like. And when I started out, it was about all the things I needed to achieve in order to feel good about myself. Well, that's a bunch of bunk, isn't it? Because all you're going to do is force yourself and discipline yourself into the exact same mold of what you were before. If you have a Jell-O mold in the shape of a pineapple, green Jell-O, eh? Yeah. You just keep pouring your Jell-O liquid into that mold, you're going to end up with exactly the same thing. So what's happening right now, 27th, we are in the new moon in Pisces portal, which encourages us to take a challenge, to do something badly, to be a robotic, crazy, jerky failure at what we're trying to do. I know I read once that Brene Brown has many companies and she goes around to them once a year to see how they're doing. And the thing that she will point out to one of those companies is, I don't like what you're doing because you haven't failed enough. Well, that is just so other than the 1950 mindset that I was raised with. You don't fail. My mother used to teach me how to take a pink pearl eraser and erase gently in all directions. You don't want to disturb the paper. You don't want to have any indication that you made a mistake. So you gently, gently, gently remove the mistake you made so the teacher can't see that you made a mistake. Wow. Where did that get me? Not very far. So where we are now is we're being asked to embrace what pleasures us. Not this thing of, I'm going to give you a Tootsie Roll if you do this, and while I'm giving you the Tootsie Roll, I take away the lollipop. It's not a distraction and release system. That's what I was taught. Distract and release. What if you are mindfully, fully alert, fully focused, making a choice to become more of who you're meant to be. And one of the ways I know that's the correct way to go is if it terrifies you. The other day, after 8 years of thinking about getting a personal trainer, I played with it. I'm kind of like, I thought the other day, I'm kind of like a cat that gets a mouse. I'll get an idea. Like, I would really like to get a personal trainer. I would really like to go to Japan. Or I would really like to clean out my house and have it be more zen. And I'll play with that minimum of 5 years. You let it go and it runs, and then you chase it, you grab it again. And this whole process of catch and release just puts off growth. And I've been really good at that. I could teach a class in that. No, don't do it yet. Wait until you don't feel afraid of it. I want to show you the card I drew today, which is really interesting to me. Teaching and learning. Keep an open mind, learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. So what that means for me is that when I spend hours in the morning gold panning for new ideas, for new studies, for new understandings of what it means to be human, I'm doing it on purpose. It's not something I wrote out. It's not something that I wanted to do so I could get a certificate or so that other people would think something about me. No, it is just the passion and the hunger in my heart. What is this being human on the earth? What are the limitations of our physiology, our family, our DNA, our inheritance? How does the brain work? How do we grow our spirit? And it is just pleasure for me to learn those things. But the pleasure is completed when I can say something to someone else who is suffering that shortens their suffering or ends their suffering. It's in the teaching that the pleasure is completed. Keep an open mind. Learn new ideas. Really important right now because we're kind of like turtles. Everybody's going like, oh my God, the world is crazy. I'm going to go into my bomb shelter, pull my head in. I love what an artist friend of mine said the other day. It was so wise. She said, why are people getting off of social media at a time when we need community more than ever? We need like souls, people who are learning and will share that with us. And that's the difference between a fear-based life and a love-based life. If you're in a fear-based life, you're just trying to keep your head in your shell. Don't let your tail hang out. Nobody wants to see your toes. Or a love-based life is, how does this make me feel? Does this make my heart happy? Does this put me in a place where I can be of use to other people? Well, then I want to do it. Yes. So as we go through this 27th in February, let's go through it with optimism, with a willingness to let go of old lies, old paradigms, old fear that if we're not perfect, we won't be included in the herd. I've never liked herds. You don't want to be included in your herd. And just be very, very brave about becoming who you are. Take a risk. Shift. Have a sense of what will give you joy and shoot for that. It doesn't have to be a flaming arrow. It can just be a regular arrow. Anyway, I wanted to share this with you today because it's a very, very strong day for leaving the old crap behind and stepping into a really beautiful future for yourself where you're at ease with who you are. That's what we're trying for. I like who I am. I'm at ease with myself. I'll eat sardines on toast, thank you, because I like it. I want to say to you, thank you so much for subscribing to my videos, for your thumbs up, for your kind comments. And if you know somebody else that is struggling, you know, they're like a sea creature that has netting all around them so they can't swim anymore. The netting of the false lies on social media, the netting of the attempt to control us by the oligarchy monsters. And look around for people who make you feel good, positive, happy, loving people. They will help you transition. I want to say, as I always do, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Courage! Come on!